This weekend was also another important event in the U.S. and world history.
Yes.
This weekend was the No Kings protest.
Yes.
PBS has cited it as one of the largest single-day mobilization and demonstrations in U.S. history,
Okay.
only being compared to when Donald Trump came back into office. Millions of people across the country took to the streets across more than 2,000 locations to voice their opposition to what many are seeing as rising authoritarianism. Oh, sorry, let me restart that. As rising
authoritarianism?
Man, I'm losing my English.
There we go.
Across the United States under Donald Trump's administration. But beyond the headlines and the aerial photos, something else reportedly stood out to a few people watching, which is the lack of representation across African Americans and millennials. That's something that you had said during our pre-show conversation.
Yeah.
And so we're just
I didn't really see that many black people out there, but it's okay. If you're not out there, you're not out there. I mean, look, we all believe in democracy. We don't believe in kings around here. So that's a good thing about it. I think that the lack of I saw people out there, but I saw a lot more older people, and a lot more older people. Not as many black people. I know some black people that went. Shout out to everybody that went to the protest, and I think it's good to express your freedom to protest, your right to protest.
I remember you and I had a bit of a back and forth before this happened, and about the people we did see out there. But I think you actually made an even stronger point, which was who actually needs to be out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like black women, black men. We've already done our protesting. Even across 5 years, we have gone out into the streets between George Floyd and everything else happening in the state of the world. We have been there on the front lines, right?
Yes.
And honestly, I want other demographics and other people to take up the cause. Personally, I think most groups of people only start protesting right as the problem is happening, instead of doing it before it takes place. And I want to ask you, when do we say as black people, enough is enough, and let somebody else take their turn?
I think we've done that for the last year, especially black women. I think they needed a break. Yeah. I think they needed a good break, because they always show up to vote. They always show up to support. Black men showed up overwhelmingly too, even though, the media didn't say that they did. But here's a novel idea, which I get a lot of pushback from all the time, which I don't understand why. But how about this, Noah? Voting is the protest.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't understand. Every time we have one of these elections and it doesn't go your way, we out here protesting the street, when voting is the protest. When we have like millions and millions and millions, a third of the country does not vote in every election. You know that, right?
Yep.
Like 100 million people don't vote that could vote. And then y'all be outside in the streets protesting over a president y'all don't want. We said Project 2025 was what it was. Nobody wanted to believe us. It was we were arguing if Kamala Harris was black or not.
Oh,
all this goofy ass shit.
So much BS, man. And even then, some of my close friends who I've since have distant relationships with now, as a result of saying that they didn't want to go out and vote for VP Harris. I'm like, guys, come on, what are we doing?
We'll see, but now we see what's going on with ICE, and we see what's going on in Chicago. We see what's going on all over. Matter of fact, that is something that we have to talk about, and we're going to talk about that in the other segment coming up. Yeah, we have to talk about this, and it just brought something to my attention. But yeah, so protest. Look, guys. Voting is the protest. I tell people, matter of fact, let me have a little quick PSA real quick. So Atlanta, Andre Dickens is running for re-election. Don't let what happened in New Orleans happen in Atlanta, because I think 150,000 black people in New Orleans didn't vote, and now they mad about the mayor. But voting is the protest.
100%. Right? And don't think that even though Mayor Dickens is the coolest mayor in Atlanta's history. If you ask me,
Okay.
he does have opponents, guys.
Exactly.
It can slip away if you let it.
Go out and vote. Shout out our guy Sam Foster running for mayor of Marietta. And then shout out Marcy Overstreet, who's running for city council president in Atlanta. And go out and vote. Early voting has already started. Take your behind out and vote. Don't act like you got it in the bag. Atlanta always needs to hold up the legacy of always being politically astute and aware and active. And so we don't need to let that slip by. So make sure that you get your behind out there and vote.
It's early. It's early voting right now.
Yes, it's early voting right now.
So even if you cannot make November 4th, remember that you can go. Your time is now.
Absolutely.
So I want to refocus in on the No King. So you were speaking about the demographics of millennials and African Americans not being present, and a report. There's a report that's showcasing that the median age who went out to protest was 44. What do you think might have discouraged younger people from going out to protest?
Probably that it doesn't necessarily, they don't necessarily see the effect of what this administration has on them right now. I think the farmers, the workers of America, people with health care, all those individuals right now, a lot of that stuff is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like with the government shutdown, all these things that are affecting large groups of older people. Like I said, people losing their jobs. That's one thing that is upsetting, is the amount of black women that have lost their jobs, and now black unemployment is up really, really high. But again, I'm always going to reiterate, I think that this election and what's happening hopefully will make voting a culture, a non-negotiable culture for all people in this country at this point. It's like it's like we need to vote. We need to like you get up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you know what I'm saying, you kiss your kids, you go to work and you vote. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be that, because the way that they're shifting these elections around, and they Dominion got acquired by a Republican dude, the voting machine company that does all the voting machines got acquired by a dude. That should be illegal, but it's not. So
it's not. Let me throw some statistics at you that I just looked up.
Yeah.
So this is a report coming in from Axios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically about the Washington, D.C. No Kings. 86% of people that they surveyed in D.C. were white, and 57% were women. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing that it's more
white women
who actually was one of Donald Trump's biggest voting blocks, who are taking up streets.
Don't look at me. Don't look at us. Like, don't even look at black women. Like,
and if we remember the conversations even that you and I were having back during election time, before Donald Trump was being elected, our theory was that white women were going to completely turn against him as a result of abortions and every other policy that was going against women that was being passed in the government at the time.
That didn't happen. But typically, a stat says that usually white women vote the way of their husbands. Is that kind of like a stat typically?
I believe that.
Like if the husband votes Republican, then the wife votes Republican or whatever.
Yeah, I believe that.
So I think that's also, I mean, in the white community, I've heard a lot about doing so. I mean, well, good for them. I think that, again, this is also another wake up call again, because I'm really about to pop off real quick. I want to pop off on the Democratic Party so hard, because I got a question. Let me ask you a question.
Really?
Who is the leader of the Republican Party right now?
I mean, easy, Donald Trump.
Exactly. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party?
There is none.
Thank you.
I don't believe there. I think the closest person we have is either a Gavin Newsom or maybe Jasmine Crockett. But even then, like, as we're gonna get later in this episode,
don't worry about that. We'll handle that.
We'll handle that later in this episode.
We'll handle that dude later. But yeah, there's no leadership.
Yeah.
And here's my problem. I don't understand real quick why, if you are on the side of the Democrats, if they gerrymander states, then we should gerrymander states, right? No, listen, we in a different point. You don't wait. So you think we can win this game playing by the rules when they threw the rule book out?
There's a saying I like. Just because an eye for an eye makes everybody blind, and so I believe in the Michelle Obama phrase of when they go low, we go high. Now, is it always?
I believe
a fair
when they
fight?
go low, we go lower.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset of that because the consequences are too hard at this moment.
Yeah,
it's too much. Like, okay, so prime example. This is what baffles me about this moment we're in right now. Again, I just said that a Republican operative bought Dominion, the voting machine company. So where's the Democrat to buy a voting machine company too?
No, that's true. We are not playing at the same game at all. We're not. We're playing.
If they're buying X and True Social and acquiring TikTok, where's the Democratic who's supporting other platforms or building those platforms up? That's all that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we're definitely playing junior varsity, and they're in the NFL right now as it comes to how
and
they reach
doping.
their audience.
and they're using steroids.
No, and it's to always come
and
back.
They're paying the refs.
Exactly. To come back to our famous person.
And they're betting on the game and winning. Like,
they are.
They're doing all
Donald
that
Trump
shit.
is giving contracts to all his
buddies. Yeah, they running up crypto schemes.
He's even getting the back end, reportedly, on the TikTok deal.
Yes.
Which is insane for an elected official, by the way.
And we got Bernie Sanders and AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Gavin Newsom and Hakeem Jeffries.
Oh, I'm going to throw in Westmore, too.
And Westmore. Okay.
But, I mean, yes, I do believe the Democratic Party needs to change up how they operate. Mm-hmm. Our favorite person, Jasmine Crockett, even stated so herself. There's the realization, I believe, within the Democratic Party that what the current tools that they're using are just not effective anymore. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Royce Mann, who's currently running for the Board of Education here in Atlanta. He is taking to social like a beast.
Okay.
And he realized, and part of the reason is, canvassing is not as effective, right? The genius of Donald Trump with True Social is that he was able to make a 24-hour propaganda machine that at any time anybody can turn to. And the Democrats don't have a platform like that now that most of these oligarchs own platforms are bowing to the crown of Donald Trump.
I mean, look, I done said what I need to say about that. I think that I am of the mindset that all voices matter. I think you can have a conservative opinion and a liberal opinion. When we get to the far extremes on either side, which I think that's where Trump and the Republican Party, they Project 2025, we want to strip the Voting Rights Act and all that. We want to gut everything and put people back in slavery. And that's really how they feel about it.
Even Republicans, a lot of Republicans are turning to the Democratic Party because they believe they have a better chance of winning there. Jeff Duncan, currently running for governor of Georgia. Yeah. He's now running as a Democrat, and he has a very valid and great shot at winning the Georgia governor's race.
Yeah, but should we let him? No.
I mean, at any day, we had some great candidates, Stacey Abrams, Keisha Lance-Bottoms, people who could effectively run the state of Georgia. Jason Estevez, I'm a fan of. We have a whole bunch of people who could do the job, but I think when we're talking about politics in Georgia specifically, I don't think there's a lot of us that realize that Atlanta is an island, right, in a sea of red. And what's made that situation worse is one of the reasons Georgia won in 2020 was because of the influx of people who are getting film and television jobs coming to Atlanta. But now that those jobs are going overseas to the UK, we've lost a lot of that voter block as people have gone home and returned to their native states. So
I agree, but I don't think we should let Jeff Duncan in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get to show up and claim Democrat and jump in front of everybody else. I want to run for governor now. Like, no, I mean, I feel your passion. I appreciate you, cuz I think it's cool that you found the error in your ways and know that these fools is tripping about what they're doing. But you should run for lieutenant governor as a Democrat or something like that. Because let the people that let Estevez and Keisha and all these other people
Oh,
run
listen,
for the position.
I'd much rather have somebody who looks like me win. But I think at the point in America, and you and I were talking about this post-election night, we are about to see, I believe, a resurgence of white male Democrats as leaders in this country for the near and incoming future. And personally, I'm at the point where I just want somebody sane who could do the job. You know,
Cool.
I'm meeting the middle ground there.
We'll put a button on that. All right. Well, that was good. That was okay. So while Noah cues up our next segment, I'm here to tell you guys we are at about $13.5 million in our Regulation A equity crowdfund for Fanbase on Start Engine. Why are you raising this money, Isaac? Well, two reasons. One, we want to build and scale the greatest platform for creators and the social economy worldwide. And you need capital to do that. All the amazing strides that we've done at Fanbase still require capital to do that. But also we want to offer ownership. I want people to own this platform because the same oligarchs that are buying up all the platforms, they did these same types of deals, except this time it's the people. So rather than the oligarchs and the small group of people that are always invested in the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the TikToks of the world, we all collectively can invest in Fanbase and own it together. And that's a different approach to moving forward with social media.
So I'm actually very excited to talk about this next segment that we have going on. You and I have gone back and forth and talked about it a lot. It's OpenAI, or